Welcome back to our online class. How are you all? 10th class children, after 1 week we are talking, we'll have our class, isn't it? Coordination was the lesson last we were doing in biology, right? How did you all write your exam? 3 or 4 of them did not write bio exam. I don't know why. No response. We'll start our class for today. We'll continue with the hormones we were doing, right, in the last class. The movement of plant parts due to various stimuli like gravity, water, light, chemical, and touch, etc. So, the function of control and coordination in plants is performed by the chemical substances called the plant hormones or phytohormones. Phyto means plant, light, hormones. The synthesis and the action of phytohormones are greatly influenced by external stimuli. External means outside stimuli, internal stimuli inside the body. The external stimuli. Plants respond to photoperiodic stimulus by specialized pigment present in various small quantity called phytochrome. Plants respond to three main stimuli. What are those? Water, gravity, and light. Auxins promote stem elongation, inhibit growth of lateral buds, maintains apical dominance. They are produced in the stem, buds, and root tips. This produces a curving of the plant stem tip towards the light, a plant movement known as phototropism. Auxin also plays a role in maintaining apical dominance. What is auxin, dear? Auxin, any of the group of plant hormones that regulate growth, particularly of stimulating cell elongation in stems. Next is gibberellins. Gibberellins are produced in greater mass when the plant is exposed to cold temperatures. Understood? Auxin means elongation in stem of a plant. It grows tall and healthy. Gibberellins, it is in the only in cold temperature this hormone works. They stimulate cell elongation, breaking, budding, seedless fruits, and seed germination is helpful by gibberellins. They cause seed germination by breaking the seed's dormancy and acting as chemical messenger. Plant cells have walls, so cytokinins cannot proceed without a cleavage furrow. Eventually, the growing cell plate fuses with the existing plasma membrane, producing two daughter cells, each with its own plasma membrane. A new cell wall forms between the two membranes of cell plate. During cytokinesis in animal cells, a ring of actin filament forms the metaphase plate. The ring contracts, forming a cleavage furrow, which divides a cell into two. In plant cells, Golgi vessels coalesce at the former metaphase plate, forming a phragmoplast. Understood? The three hormones we have seen: auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin today. These are hormones in which are what are they? Its functions in the plant. Cytokinins occurs in mitosis and meiosis for both plants and animal cells also. The ultimate objective is to divide the parent cell into daughter cells. In plants, this occurs when a cell forms in between the daughter cells. In animals, this occurs when a cleavage furrow forms. Next is abscisic acid ABA is referred as an inhibitory rather than stimulatory hormone. It is involved in the closure of stomata, bud, and seed dormancy and is known to inhibit other hormonal actions. Abscisic acid ABA is an important phytohormone regulating the plant growth, development, and stress responses. The stress hormone abscisic acid ABA induces expression of defense genes in many organs, modulates ion homeostasis and metabolism in gut cells, and inhibits the germination and seedling growth. Measurements to test this hypothesis could not be done in germinating seeds, and we used roots as the most convenient system. Abscisic acid, auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins. Next is ethylene. Ethylene has an important role in the regulation of leaf senescence. Ethylene is one of the most important hormone in leaf senescence. What is this senescence regulation? It is the exposure of plants sensitive to ethylene which induces premature symptoms such as leaf yellowing. Leaves become yellow, we have seen, isn't it? Abscission or decision. As a plant hormone, we'll see it individually. I'll explain it now. The ethylene is in a plant growth regulator that acts as stress level of entire plant life by regulating and stimulating the opening of flowers, fruit ripening, and shedding of leaves. Plants synthesize ethylene by using two-step biochemical pathways starting from S-adenosyl L-methionine SAM. SAM is converted to ACC by the enzyme ACC synthase ACS. ACC is then converted to ethylene by the enzyme ACC oxidase. Ethylene affects fruit, including fruit ripening, induction of flowering, loss of chlorophyll, abortion of plant parts, stem shortening, abscission, dropping of plant parts, epinasty, the stem bends, and dormancy. It can be produced when the plants are injured, either mechanically or by the fabrication. Ethylene is used as oxy-fuel gas in metal cutting, welding, and high velocity thermal spraying. Refining. Ethylene is used as refrigerant, especially in LNG liquefaction plants. Ethylene stimulates root initiation in many plant species, controls the formation of root nodules in legumes, inhibits the formation of such storage organs as tubers and bulbs, promotes flowering in some species but it inhibits in others, and induces the production of female rather than male flowers in cucurbits. Which fruit produces the most ethylene? Apples, bananas, apricots, and pears are known to produce the most ethylene gas. An auxin is a plant growth hormone which regulates the shoot growth, the stem growth. But when the sunlight varies, auxin is broken down on the sunnier side of the stem. The part of the plant where the sun gets high or the temperature is high, the auxin breaks the plant. The higher the concentration of auxin on the shady side causes the plant cell on that side to grow more, so it bends towards. Next we'll see about the oxygen. We all know oxygen is released by the plants into the air and the sugar is taken as food by the plant. But this entire process of making food can only be done in the presence of sunlight. The leaves therefore lean towards the light for photosynthesis. This causes the stem and the leaves to bend or lean towards the lighter side. I told you all just now. Sunlight is bright, it leans towards it, bends that side. Growth towards the light source is called positive phototropism, while growth away from the light is called negative phototropism. Scototropism. Most plant shoots exhibit positive phototropism and rearrange their chloroplast in the leaves to maximize photosynthetic energy and promote growth. Phototropism are caused by an unequal distribution of oxygen. This makes the plant grow either towards or away from the light, depending on which part of the plant receives the light. In a stem, what happens? The cells on the shaded side contain more oxygen and grow longer than the cells on the plants grow fast in the dark and do so because they operate on circadian cycle. According to ScienceDaily.com news, university research revealed that plants exhibit growth in pre-dawn hours, early morning, before the sun rises, and ceased growth during the daylight. Understood? Because of the cuticle. In the plant's leaves and the epidermal cells are located on the upper and lower part of the leaf, where they form the upper and lower epidermis. The cuticle, however, is located on the upper epidermis for the most part. In plants, this is the outermost part that is secreted by the epidermis. The epidermal cells are irregular in shape. The guard cells contain chloroplast, so they can manufacture food by photosynthesis. The epidermal cells do not contain chloroplast. Guard cells are the only epidermal cells that can make sugar. Epidermis in botany is the outermost photoderm derived layer of cells covering the stem, root, leaf, flower, fruits, and seed parts of a plant. The epidermis and its waxy cuticle provides a protective barrier against mechanical injury, water loss. Understood? All of you, both plants and animal cells include human epithelial and onion epidermal cells have a structure called cell membrane or plasma membrane. However, onions also have a cell wall on the top of this. Cell walls are rigid structures made out of cellulose that harden as the cells reach their full size. Both plants and animal cells, including human epithelial and onion epidermal cells, have a structure called cell membrane. Coleoptiles are cylindrical organs that unsheath the first leaf and shoot apex in grass seedlings. They help in the emergence of the first leaf and shoot apex by protecting it during its passage through the soil. On emergency, the first leaf breaks through the coleoptile tip. Darwin observed that the coleoptiles grow and curved towards the light. He concluded that the tips of the coleoptiles don't have to be in their normal position to affect growth, and the chemical that controlled phototropism moved through agar. Therefore, it was water soluble chemical. First scientist, his name is Fritz Walmalt, went in May 18 to 1903 to May 1st, 1990, was a Dutch biologist whose 1928 experiment demonstrated the existence of oxygen in plants. We'll see the homework for today, children. What is oxygen? Second question, explain phototropism. Third is, what is the importance of gibberellins? Send me by evening 5 o'clock. Hope the explanation is clear. Got it? Understood? Okay, children. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. See you in next class.